Welcome back. Now, hopefully at this point you have been practicing your bag control and you can get something approximating a steady note. We now come to the more interesting part, that's starting to play the chanter itself. Chanter being the part of the bagpipe which produces melody. Now, again, we're thinking about lots of things and your body doesn't know which muscles to relax. You're probably still, as a beginner, tight and concentrating on blowing, pumping, getting a steady note, and then on top of that you're going to start moving your fingers around. It's very difficult to begin with. It feels like wrestling an octopus. After a while, again, some of those movements will become automatic and you can then start to concentrate more on the fingers. Now, recorder players, if they pick these up, immediately try to do this sort of thing. Very few bagpipes can cope with that. The finger positions are all wrong. Highland pipes will play on flat fingering like that. Personally, I prefer, and this is my choice, mine only, is a sort of combination of the two. So again, from the top, thumb, finger, feel where the holes are, bring them in. No noise at the moment. Thumb hole. Again, if you find that a little bit of a stretch to begin with, you could always take that up, but personally I would advise against it. Thumb there, finger, finger, finger. Not the little finger, we'll leave that for another time. Here I'm resting on the second joint. Hopefully, if you've got those all covered, you can then bring air in, push, and you should get a lovely G. It may not be the case, you may get a horrible squeaky noise. If that happens, stop blowing, have a look. One of your fingers probably would have slid slightly off a hole. This is a common one it goes from, but it could be any, and this one here, because again you're probably using a part of your finger which you're not used to using for covering the hole on a wind instrument. So again, just have a look, see where they are, adjust it, try again. Now while you're going, try to relax as much as possible all your other muscles. How relaxed can you have your hand? If you're gripping it tightly and your fingertips go white and you end up with indentations, you're pressing too hard. So just try, keep it really relaxed and see how much you can actually take the tension away from your fingers without the note crumbling. And be prepared to do that for quite a bit of time. Right, staying with that, let's just try and go slowly up the scale. Now the scale on this is what we call half closed, which it's easier to demonstrate than to explain. So watch where I'm playing. The difficult part is going from one hand to another. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easy to put an extra note in there to go down to a G as you go from one hand to the other. A way to avoid that is to lift this finger before you put these ones down. So in slow, without the noise, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this finger rises before these three go back down. You don't make a big deal of that, and if you do play with that, it's not too bad. It's not quite the correct note, but usually it's so brief as not be noticeable. If you don't do that, you get that false note coming in between. You get that. You may want that as an artistic feature, but not an accident. So, if you want to practice something very, very simple, don't go all the way up to the instrument, but just gradually work up.